So I keep saying I'll watch movies on Filmstruck before they expire, and yet I always end up cramming a bunch of movies in right before they expire. I got a bunch I'm trying to see this week, so we'll see what happens. But the first one was um, Luchino Visconti's Rocco and His Brothers. All the Visconti is expiring, so like, get on it. This one I'd been meaning to see for a while. I remember the restoration from Milestone Films came out in 2015. I couldn't see it because it was a year with women, so I did not see it in theaters. Oh my god, I clearly missed a lot because wow, um, wow. Uh, some of the most beautiful looking faces I've ever seen in cinema. Both not just Alain Delon, although um, I still haven't seen Purple Noon. Also, I'm like failing at watching Alain Delon movies, but they're always there, so it's fine. Anyways, Rocco and His Brothers is a very long film. It is 3 hours long. It is directed by Luchino Visconti. It has one, two, three, four, five, six credited screenwriters. Ooh, plus a couple more. There's like 8 people who wrote this, based on parts of a novel called Il Ponte delle Ghiassolfa by Giovanni Testori. So they took parts of this one story and made it into this very long saga of 5 brothers who basically the one brother has moved to the north early on before the movie starts. Vincenzo, he is about to get married to Claudia Cardinelli when his mother and his 4 brothers all show up because their father has died and they've decided to move from the south from the small little town in the south up to where the brother has moved in Milan. However, this causes strife with the his new in-laws and all kinds of stuff, and then they all have to move out, and then they have to find a place, and you basically watch as they become part of the life in Milan. They find jobs and loves, etc., etc. And they all seem to get older except the youngest brother, who is played by the same kid for the entire, what looks like several years worth of aging. Whoops. But so the brothers are, other than Vincenzo, they are Rocco, obviously played by Alain Delon. Simone, played by Renato Salvatori. Simone is the worst character in all of cinema. Maybe not the worst, but like I wanted to slap him from the minute you see him to like the last bit with him. You're just like you're the worst, and you bring everyone down around you. Ciro, played by Max Cartier, and is that 4? Yeah, and the youngest, Luca, played by Rocco Violazzi. Their mother is Rosario, and she's played by Katina I'm going to say this wrong, Pagnao? Pagnao? I don't know how to say an X in Italian. And then the other main character in this is Nadia, played by Annie Girardot. And Nadia is a lady of the night, shall we say. She's first brought into the family by Simone. However, she gets put away in jail at the exact same time that Rocco gets drafted, and they both wind up coming back to Milan at the same time. Rocco is a saint. He's a cinnamon roll. He is lovely. He sees the good in everyone, and he sees the good in Simone and basically convinces her to sort of become a better person. And they fall in love, and you think everything's going to be great, except that Simone is like a rat bastard, and he comes in and ruins everything and is like owing money all around town, and he's not a great boxer, but like maybe his brother can help him box better, but then all that does is make everything trouble, and then they find out about Nadia and Rocco, and this does not end well for anyone, and includes a very graphic, horrible scene that made me very uncomfortable. That said, I think the impact of what happens to Nadia and how it changes who she is and how it changes everyone around her, while I don't like the use of rape in any case, I will say I think they handled it well. And they handled sort of looking for the ways in which there are what I'm looking for. Oh God, um, the hypocrisy of the Roman Catholicism of which this family has grown up in, and the way in which they'll protect their awful brother and call this woman horrible things when in reality we all know that like the awful brother is awful. Um, and then things end very disastrously for everybody. I don't want to spoil it, although it is a well-known, um, I guess, fact about this film. So it was supposed to premiere at Venice, and it did, and then it got censored, and they cut several things, and then when this film got restored in 2015, they were able to restore most of it from a print that they found in oh my god, I looked it up and then it went away. Where'd it go? Well, it's gone. Anyway, they found a print in storage somewhere in Italy, and they restored it that way. I read it somewhere, and now it's gone. I don't know. Point is, this was beautiful restoration. It's a very hard to watch but wonderful melodrama about the perils of close knit family and putting family over true happiness and true goodness. And the fact that someone like Rocco is so good and yet almost too good because he's unable to see past what he thinks people can be to who they really are. And eventually one of the other brothers sort of surges forward as like the best brother, and you'll root for him, I promise. So I really enjoyed this film. It's so beautifully shot. The score is by Nina Rota, so you know you're getting something lush and gorgeous and Italian and amazing. It may be too melodramatic for certain people. There's a lot of hand gestures and yelling, especially towards the end, and crying, and in true Italian form, everyone is dubbed, so sometimes the dialogue doesn't match the way the mouths are moving, but that's just Italian film, and you just got to go with it. So I recommend this. It expires on Friday, so definitely watch it on Filmstruck before then. I hear tell that Milestone is releasing it on Blu-ray soon, so look out for that when it happens. Rocco and His Brothers, cannot recommend it enough.